Hey guys, Mitsu here, welcome! This is this week's AR defense replays. So we're going to look at all of the defenses I got this week. There's only been one loss that counts, and that was on the last day, immediately after my actual offense plays, I got a loss, which was very impressive. Everything else was either a win or a loss where I beat 2 units. And so it's been very successful defense, and I'll just go through them and discuss them as they go, as they come, right? So let's start with the first one. This one was a bit odd, to say the least. I mean, we can just see it. First of all, it's clearly an off-season defense. As you see, there's a Katria who is light blessed. I'm not sure, like maybe this is a new player, but then again, the investment doesn't suggest so. It's a plus 10 Katria with distant counter, which is a very odd build, and not even a vantage, so I'm not quite sure what she would do against any sort of bow. Then we have a unmerged legendary Azura, we have an unmerged Milla, we have an unmerged duo Mikaea, not even fully built, right? I think she comes with attack rest push 4, I'm pretty sure, but he hasn't even gotten that, and then he has another Milla. So he goes in order to debuff, to isolate both dancers, which he doesn't actually manage, I think, right? Does he? Well, maybe he does, I don't quite remember. But in any case, it's not enough because Sonya over here will do the damage. So here's something I will never understand. Like, you're going in with a buffed unit with less than 55 HP. What in the world are you thinking? So he gives her dominance, right? But, like, Sonya don't care. Yep, good night. And he gives up. So that's the first defense. Not really much I can draw from there because it's just so odd. The second one is very odd too. There's a unmerged Anna as the bonus unit. Now, you can see how insane her stats are as a bonus unit. Then there's a plus 10 Ophelia, like super invested, very, very good. But, you know, run with the legendary Azura, run with an Olivia, run with a Peony. This is the sort of, I don't care about scoring, but I kind of want to win some matches build, I would say. She can take out pretty much everything here. But he even then struggles because he cannot take out all threats. And, yeah, you need to take out all threats on this defense. So he uses Smite in order to test the traps, then he moves out, and then now he says, okay, or thinks, okay, now I can take out the threats now that I know where the real traps are. Now this move, I don't quite understand. And he takes out Mirabilis, and then he uses his last wings of Mercy Dancer to move out of the way. But, you know, 2 of his units are still in range. And, yeah, that you'll notice. First unit out, second unit out, third unit out, and so it follows. So he takes out Ike then, and then decides to smite her out of the way, but you know, it's pretty much over at this point. And he pretty much gives up there. And you can see what happens, because all the defense structures are still there. Sonya has an effective res of 54. You're not doing anything to her with magic-based damage. Now here's one that I was very happy about because this is what saved my butt towards the end of offense. So he has a Bridal Fjord, which is something that can do some damage to this defense. Now here's what I like about this defense regarding Bridal Fjord is there are 3 lanes where sort of assists do work on this defense. There's this one where the actual rally trap activates, and then there's the 2 dancers. Now, he correctly identifies that this is the crucial dancer in order to intercept the rally trap here. So he does the right play, but even that is not enough in order to clear. Now, it's at this point where I must admit that a lot of the work that was done by Mirabilis is just due to the fact that she's a bonus unit. And that's where I'm considering giving her one of those damage reduction specials regarding close range, so that she would be baited out, but she would get her damage reduced when she does so. And I do hope that that would, in that case, at least allow her to survive, and in that way, the same sort of general pattern of play would emerge. Now, he clears it from here. He does manage to do that. By just baiting the units with Altina. And Naga survives the hit, doubles back, but he's got no pots. He has lost 2 units. It's a very bad win. I wouldn't take that myself. I would surrender by the second unit loss. From here on out, it is mostly wins, except that one last match. Probably should have a look at the units, right? So it's a +2 Altina, nicely merge, supported with the Lucina so that she gets a lot of stats and she can, you know, take stuff out. And yeah, Bridal Film again. So he smites her up to give her bonuses, then takes out the tower, then uses Alphonse to smite Lucina into supporting range. Now, here's the problem. Actually, Sonya doesn't... Here's the thing. Sonya doesn't attack because she doesn't do enough to take her out. But just by Mirabilis coming in, and dancing as a result, because she has no reason to attack, what happens is she is now running debuffs. And she's effectively running another 3 debuffs due to Mirabilis being right here. And so her buffs are almost completely gone, and Lysithea now has +6 to her attack. +5 to her attack. Plus, of course, all of this. So now Lysithea does enough damage to take out in one shot. So moves in, kills Lucina, and at this point it's pretty much over. I'm not quite sure why he doesn't surrender here. I would surrender at that point, but... And I must admit one thing. I wish she gave the sort of movement buff that Peony gives. At that point, Sonya would fly in and take her out. It's a big shame that Mirabilis doesn't give that movement buff. It would make her even better. But at this point, again, well, you've got a Dancer-supported Lysithea running through and causing havoc. And yeah, that's not fun. Lysithea takes out Alphonse, and yeah, this one's pretty much over. And yeah, Mirabilis also takes a kill. I think we're now here. He just gave up immediately. There's not a replay. I guess he had no counter, which is a shame, but oh well. Very nice skill set on this Lucina. Just shame. I hope he gets merges soon, because that's a nice skill set. Next one. So this is a Dancer-supported Kronya. We'll see another Kronya attempt, which also fails. And this one here is one of the rare ones I find where it's not Halloween Hector supported, but instead it is a Dancer supported Kronya play. And they use that in order to get Kronya up the left side in order to take out then 2 of the threats. So not just Soth, but also Lysithea. And from there on out, they hope that they can then take out the rest with a fair amount of ease, let's say. Yep, this is when it comes. Repo in with Ephraim, take out Soth, dance with, what's her name, Ishtar, take out Lysithea, and repo out. And everything's good now, right? Well, not quite. Sonya says no. Now he moves his units out of the way. He manages to take out a few units, which is good, but here comes the debuff. Can't do a lot of damage now due to the debuff, since Mirabilis is also activates, and now, well, now you're in a bit of an odd spot. You've lost 2 units, you probably don't want to take this. And yeah, next one. Yeah, I think this guy thought, I mean, if I remember correctly, only one Mythic, so again, very odd build on this Mythic, I must admit. I do not understand this build. This makes no sense. In any case, so I believe he tried to tank with Altina, if I remember correctly, but we'll just see. Yep, moves up the left. And yeah, gives her dominance and things. Oh, this is easy, right? Not quite sure why it takes so long. I'm guessing it's because theoretically they did enough damage to take her out. It's just that they missed a few. Now, I need just a few more Soth merges, then this won't happen. He will then do enough damage. So it's not something that greatly concerns me. I think in general, I'm considering switching back to his attack refine. There has been one match where he took out Lucina, where the speed refine came into play. But otherwise, it's usually his attack refine that actually does more. Like in this case, the attack refine would have saved his butt. He would have killed Altina. But, you know, we've taken out 1 unit. And, yeah, not quite sure what this is supposed to do here, to be quite honest, but, well. Yeah. And then he gives up. And, what's that? I think this is the next one, isn't it? Yes, this is the last Chronicle. Now, this is one I very, very much like, because this is exactly what I was afraid of. It's a disarm trap Kronya, so what it means, with Hector of course, what this means is that he can get her onto the trap and take out the Hardy Baron unit without a problem, and that's what exactly he does. But even then, Kronya doesn't survive, and you'll see why. So, first thing is Ike attacks, right? Because, well, he gets basically no damage from her. Now, from here on out, the Dancer's can attack. And now, Kronya is so weak that Soth can just take her out. It's a shame that Soth doesn't do enough damage. He needs a few more merges and a better skill set. But then, he'll do fine, I think. He uses Hector to take out Lysithea, and can't do anything with air. Now, this is what I love here. You'll see that a Mirabilis being in range just buffs a unit so strongly, it's quite funny, really. First thing that happens, boom. And I just love that. And at that point, he gives up because he can't really take them out at all. And yeah, that's great. And the last one. This is an excellent team. Excellent, excellent, excellent team. 2 of the best offense units you can find. So there's Layla with probably her best skill set, right? It's her base kit, but she has Disarm Trap. She's so annoying when she has Disarm Trap. And what he can do then is he can place his tanky unit back here and get Layla up there and attack from there. They switch spaces. Now his tanky unit is on the defense tile and safe. Plus his tanky unit has Pulse Smoke, and by hitting there, he's already pulsed Sonya, who now is in trouble. Alphonse of this caliber has no problem taking on Lysithea. And overall then, my team is lost. I think he also baits with Altina, who's also highly merged. I mean, this is clearly a very competent team, as you can see. Again, another one with distant counter. I do not understand distant counter on Naga. Just don't give it to her. Like there's many things you can give Naga. Don't give her distant counter. It's a complete waste. And yeah, we'll see how it works. I mean, I think it's pretty obvious. The moment you see the team, you know what they're going for. And it's a very nice clear. Yep, takes them out, uses the duo skill, takes out Soth, and as you can see now, Sonya debuffed, many structures gone, there's only 3 structures left, and since there's 3 structures, she only gets +4, and she is very, 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 very debuffed. Do two, well, Layla, right? Layla gives her attack smoke and the defenses too, of course. So the units are incredibly noodle. That's why Sonya doesn't attack, and you can see how much damage is done there. And unfortunately, then it's just barely not enough to take out. And yeah. From there on out, he can basically clear the rest of the team. Sonya is a sitting duck, and well, it's a very nice clear. I don't have an answer to that, but yeah, thoughts on my defense. I didn't see anybody this week really try to bait from here, which surprised me, so the rally trap never actually activated. People read it, but even then the defense worked. So even if you know what's going to happen roughly, it's still quite hard to counter it, and that's something I like a lot. Now, things to work on. Soth merges. Maybe give him an attack refine. I'll wait a few weeks before I do that, just because I don't want to open it up and have to re-bless Ike before I have something that's worth replacing it with. Otherwise, I would have to re-bless Ike constantly, and then I would be running out of the light blessings again, which is just stupid. Besides that, I like it a lot. I think it's just a matter of now upgrading defense structures gradually as we go. These are not upgraded because I didn't start taking AR seriously until fairly recently, so a lot of my structures cannot be upgraded for that reason. My healing tower should be max level next week. I think level 7 is max, and then it'll be 40 HP healing, so that'll be good. What's an obvious weakness of my team? Pulse Smoke. Can I do something about it? Not really. At the moment you use a special nuker, like Sonya, one of your main weaknesses is going to be Pulse Smoke. Now luckily, Pulse Smoke still is premium fodder, so it's something I expect to see from time to time, but not something that I think, oh god, what a shame I don't have a counter to it. The moment Pulse Smoke becomes more widely available, I will have to change this defense most likely, because then many people will have a viable counter to this team. Because the way it worked, as you saw with Duo Alphonse, is, and he's probably the best unit to run it, is that when Ike attacked, right, I mean, Lysithea you'd think is not vulnerable to it, like skills with even pulse tie, because even if you get her special not procced, at the start of the turn, times pulse makes it be procced. Here's the problem with that logic. If you do it, that only is at the start of the turn, right? So if another unit after the start of the turn attacks the Pulse Smoke unit and the Pulse Smoke unit retaliates, now her cooldown is once again reduced. Or sorry, it's boosted back up to 1. So now her special isn't ready. And that's why she didn't have her special ready when Alphonse was in there. And that's how cold smoke units are the bane of this team, really. Like, they are the biggest weakness of this team. I know it. People have told me, and it's like, yeah, I know. Not much I can do, unfortunately. And so long as it's a niche counter, because it's just not widely available, I'm fine with it. I can take 2-3 losses, not a big issue. It's a matter of statistically being better off and on a regular basis, knowing that you can counter most of the people you will see. That's what a good defense is. For a free to play player, right? You're never going to counter everybody and everything. If you have the resources to invest heavily into units, even then there's probably going to be a niche counter to your defense, but you are considerably less constrained in your options. Now, I don't have that luxury, so I'm not so bothered by it. This is definitely my better defense. I haven't actually gotten around to changing my light defense yet, and I still have to consider if I do something now, if I don't do something now, what do I do with it now? And it's something I'll decide on short notice. Probably I'll play around a bit with it now at night and maybe again in the morning. And if something changes by tomorrow, I'll maybe let you know. Maybe I'll show it. I'll probably not quite be happy with it. So I guess you'll see at the latest by the time defense replays come at the end of the week. So far, I'm very happy with this setup. I couldn't show the beautiful rally trap again, but you know, could be worse. The defense worked. That's what it is. I hope your defenses went well too. I hope your offenses, I can't speak anymore, it's late. I hope your offenses went well as well, and I will see you guys for light season from tomorrow onwards. And yeah, good night, see ya, bye.